Hey guys, thank you so much for doing this. It means the world to us. I mean, if you think about what all went into this, flying here, riding your bicycle here this morning to be part of this. And, you know, I know some of you who have ridden before understand the true impact. But it's pretty remarkable that everybody would come here, and a lot of you guys had never even met Gabe before today, or before last night, I should say. And, I know that there's going to be a lot of, I guess, times where you're tired. And, I always hear Michael say what gets him through it all is thinking about Gabe, who will never be able to ride a bike. If it's okay, I'd like to pray for everybody's safety. Dear Father, thank you for bringing us all together today. It means the world to me and my family. You have brought so many incredible people into our lives.
Dad, can you turn that light off?
Yeah, I will in a second. We are Gabe's parents. And in 2008, was it? He was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is a horrible, horrible disease that's terminal with no cure. And, I remember immediately Tracy falling into the fetal position and screaming, "No, not my child, not my son, not my baby." I immediately looked at her and said, "I promise you that with everything that I am, that this is not going to happen to our son. As long as I have, breath in me, we're going to fight and make sure that this does not happen to our son." And, shortly after that, reality kind of sets in and you realize what you're up against, because you do feel lost. And we wanted other people to have hope, and we wanted other people to be able to reach out to someone to just simply ask questions or hear their cries. And so that's kind of why we decided to form Hope4Gabe.
A three-person bicycle team set off on their ride to Mobile, Alabama this morning. The team left Haynesville, Maine around 6 this morning. They are riding to bring attention to Duchenne muscular dystrophy because a young boy from their community was diagnosed with this disease a few years ago. The Ride4Gabe is named in honor of this young boy. Their ride is about 2,200 miles long and will take place over the next 11 days and go through 9 states.
The potentially fatal genetic disorder affects muscle growth, and this Ride4Gabe group organized their first bike ride 2 years ago in 2014. They will bike across America again this year, raising awareness and money to support finding a cure for this condition.
My number one goal is simple: to save my son and to eradicate this disease. The day that Michael met Gabe, he's running around, taking over the whole office, and then we sit down and Michael says, "What can I do for you?"
This has turned into my whole life. Worked for a U.S. congressman for 11 years. I was the chief of staff on Capitol Hill for 7. Through all of that, I feel like it's led me to this point where I'm putting everything on the line because I believe that we can beat Duchenne. It's hard for me to explain how it was exactly that Gabe walked in the door that day and I just fell in love with him.
And I said, "My son is dying, and I cannot fix this alone." And he sat there for a second, and he looked at me, and he goes, "That little boy is dying?" I said, "Yeah." And I think at that very moment, something happened inside of him.
Gabe, this has been so great to meet you. Brother, we're road warriors.
I want to make a difference and feel like I'm impacting this community. When you commit to something and you say you're going to do it, you should carry through with it.
There's not many people that get on their bicycle and ride 3,300 miles from Oregon to Mobile and then 2,200 miles from Maine to Mobile for a kid that they're not related to or that they didn't even know until a few years ago. then when you reflect back of all the people that you've impacted just along the trip, look at how many people responded in 2014 and just all the messages in 2016 of hope that we were able to give other people. It's a really impactful thing to see when you're able to give back and you're able to make someone who's in a really bad place smile, even if it's just for a second. To me, the biggest accomplishment was the fact that he never wanted to use his scooter, his power scooter. And then when we got to Syracuse, and you guys saw how reluctant he was to wheel in there on the scooter. And it really took Peg and the administration there at Syracuse to kind of, come on, you got this. They had never seen a scooter like this, come on. And then they opened those doors and there were all the basketball players in the huge gym, and he just started smiling, and he still was a little reluctant, but once he got going, he never looked back.
Coach, we have a special visitor, Gabe.
How you doing? Coach Milton.
Coach Milton?
Gabe, nice to meet you, sir.
Show you the dome a little bit. Where you from, Gabe?
Man, welcome to New Central New York. This is the best basketball venue in the country, and it's all yours right now.
Look at all that. I remember I looked up and he was playing cops and robbers with some kids at the campsite that he had never met. And they were on bicycles and he was on a scooter. And I cannot tell you how many times here in my neighborhood that his friends have been over here playing with Gabe, and then all of a sudden out of the blue decided, let's go do cops and robbers, and they all went and got their bikes, and Gabe just stood there, and he would come in and cry. And I would say, buddy, why don't you get on your scooter and play with them? No, I don't want to get on my scooter. And now he loves that thing. I mean, I think he realizes how much more freedom he has on that scooter. But when I looked up and I saw him playing cops and robbers with a bunch of kids that he didn't know, I just smiled inside. I know it sounds strange, but in the life of a child with Duchenne who's battling a terminal disease, who has so many things that are taken away from him, it was like he was finally given something back because he could play and keep up with those kids. And that was so cool.
I don't know. I just, we're all working so hard. We really are. And I don't, I just don't know that. We'll get there. We're going to get to Alabama.
So tired. We can't make a decision right now. Like, we can't be sitting looking at the map. Please just make a decision and tell us where we need to go.
We don't care about 3 miles. We just need to keep pedaling.
Okay, then we'll listen.
And you try to get up. It's hard to just sit up because you're that sore. Your whole body is sore. We know that this is nothing compared to what Gabe and his family are going to go through. And that, using our muscles and pushing our muscles like that, and, our muscles have the ability to recover. It's just the right thing for us to be doing. So we have hard days, but you just push through, and it's the boys like Gabe that are going to get us through this.
My mind wanted to go farther than 160 miles. I wanted to complete the entire ride, but my body just wouldn't let me do it. My legs wouldn't let me do it. So as I thought about that, I thought, I have a choice. I can just stop now and preserve what, function I have at the end of the day. Gabriel doesn't have that choice. Gabriel's mind wants to do things, and his body, his legs, his entire body won't let him do those things, no matter how much he wants to do it, and he has to accept that. The support that I got today on this ride allowed me to do what I did today, and the parallel there is the support that these young boys have from their families and friends and the caregivers and even the team that's here today. The support that we've all given him is so critically important for him to move on in his life and to help the family understand what's going on and support that family. So without the support I had today, I couldn't have done it, and I think it's very critical that these families are supported by individuals through a better and greater knowledge of what Duchenne muscular dystrophy is.
There are multiple times on the trip this year where my body was so depleted, and I still don't know the words to describe it, honestly. It was so hard physically, I lost it. I didn't know if I could finish the ride. I didn't know how to, make it all happen and keep it all together. And, that's when you have to fall back on the physical training that you did. And the thing to me, like every time I would find myself sitting there crying my eyes out, trying to figure out how am I gonna do this, I would look at Gabe, or I would think about Gabe, and I would think about what he's going through. He doesn't have a choice. The whole ride this year kind of merges together as one long ride. And when you're sleep deprived, you kind of lose your ability to keep it together mentally. We all were yelling at each other and screaming at each other. But I think that the one thing that kept us all together, the glue of our group, was Gabe. And that's what it should be all about. And to me, that's the most impactful thing of it all, is that Gabe was out there. Everybody that sees Gabe knows everything we're doing is about him. Nobody's out there to better themselves. Everybody's out there trying to save Gabe and trying to save all the people that he represents.
Yeah, buddy. Give me the camera.
G-force, I ain't scared. Now we're gonna go this.
I forgot all about the whole entire ride when we crossed the finish line because Gabe pulled out in front of us in that scooter, and I saw the joy on his face and how incredible it was for him to be riding that scooter. He got the scooter last year, he cried, he hated the scooter. To see him smiling and to see him leading us across the finish line and to feel that he had accomplished something, because he knew that he was out there educating people about Duchenne. And to finish the ride was incredible for me. And it made me forget about all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the bad things, and just think about what's important. And that is, here we have these kids, and they need us. They need us to keep doing this. And so that's what we're gonna do, is keep doing this.
It's unbelievable. It's remarkable that at age 11, he's accomplished more in his life than I will ever accomplish in mine. Again, I'm just the messenger. This is his story. I mean, I'm a parent, man. That's what we do. You know, we fight for our kids. If a train is coming, you know, it's our job to push the kid out of the way and take the blow. And that's what I'm trying to do, but I can't fix this. I can't fix this by myself. It's going to take a whole lot of people to fix this, which is why we do what we do. And we're going to continue to do what we do.
Hello, Gabe. How you doing, buddy? Glad to see you.
Said I wasn't going to do this, and here I go.
You're crying?
You know, it takes a lot to put something like this on. But it's pretty easy when you look at this guy. It's amazing the number of cyclists and community leaders and congressional leaders that have come together to say, you know what, we believe and together we can all make this happen. When we came into Birmingham, we had 60 riders. Think about this. These guys went all the way from in some cases, the Alabama state line that joined this team that went all the way across the country. My heart goes out to everybody that helped put this on. But at the end of the day, the big hero is this guy behind me. And I just want to tell you that you're my hero. Okay? All right? Truly, if you wake up, no matter what you do in your life, what you battle, whether you have a perfect life and work and healthy family members, still if you wake up and you don't have hope, why wake up? And that's what keeps us going. The fact that we do have hope and the fact that we hope one day our son will beat a disease that no one has ever beat before. And we believe we can do it through this foundation. I get up every morning because it may be the last morning I see with my son. I get up every morning because I have something to fight for. When you're battling a disease that could take your child at any time, every day is precious. And so every day I get up thinking this is going to be the day. That this is going to be the day that I get the call for a cure, that I get the call that a drug's been approved, that I get something that justifies what we do every day.